This is day 5 of telling my worst dating stories and what I've learned from them. So, this story is about a guy who messaged me on Facebook. Now, usually I don't respond to random men that message me on Facebook. Usually they're like weird sugar daddies. I don't know, but I looked at his profile and I was like, oh, like he lives in my area, he goes to a college I'm familiar with, seems to have a lot of the same values and interests that I have, and that we might have a lot in common. So I was like, wait, this guy could actually be fun to go on a date with. So I said yes. And we did go on a first date. We ended up going bowling and we had a great time, great conversation, vibes were good, and at the end of the date I said that I'd love to go out again. And he was like, yeah, let's do it. Like, is it okay if we communicate over Marco Polo? And I was like, sure, I guess. So we started Marco Poloing, but they kind of became a little excessive and kind of awkward. And then, like, the way he was complimenting me started to feel over the top. And then he asked me for the second date to go for ice cream and then go to his apartment. And that sounds pretty normal, right? But at this point, I had learned that going over to a guy's apartment early in dating just isn't safe. And so I told him, like, I wasn't very comfortable with that. Even if I had met him and even if it was the second date, it was just like a new rule I had for myself. And he was like, well, I just don't really think that's going to work for me because the way I want to date someone is seeing them when they're comfortable and just hanging out at my place. And I was like, okay, that's great. Like, I can respect that, but I'm going to need you to respect what I said. And, like, unfortunately, if that's how it is, I don't think that's going to work. So I was like, we can just go for ice cream. Like, we don't have to just go to your place. And so he settled for that. But then he ghosted me for a week, past the time that we were supposed to go out for ice cream. So I was like, okay, I'm sorry, but you've ghosted me. Like, I'm no longer interested. Just so we're clear. But then he reached out to see if I would come over and hang out at his place again.